here in Lagos, Nigeria. Welcome to Business Incorporated on Channels Television. I am BC Adebayo. Today on the program, all eyes are on the Central Bank of Nigeria as its Monetary Policy Committee ends its second-rate decision meeting for the year today. In Egypt's largest listed bank, the Commercial International Bank finalizes the sale of a near 75% stake in its investment banking arm. Plus, the 2017 edition of the Africa CEO Forum ends today in Geneva, Switzerland. Well, let's start the show now, and all eyes are on the Central Bank of Nigeria as its Monetary Policy Committee ends its second-rate decision meeting for the year today. The two-day meeting, which began in Abuja on Monday, is expected to deliberate on the state of the Nigerian economy and decide on key monetary policy parameters. Investors are also waiting to see if the central bank will adopt a more flexible exchange rate regime after it devalued the retail rate by around 20% last month to ease a dollar shortage. But the governor of the CBN, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, is chairing the meeting and is expected to announce the details and outcome of the meeting to the media this afternoon. We join Channels Television at 2 p.m. for a live studio panel analysis with Channels business anchor Harriet Agbeni. In the meantime, the Africa CEO Forum taking place in Geneva, Switzerland, has entered its second and final day today. The two-day forum, which began on Monday, is focused on how to succeed in this new economic cycle on the continent. With the theme, Rethinking Africa's Business Model, the conference offers a unique platform for facilitating thought-provoking and forward-thinking discussions, as well as unique opportunities for business development, strategy refinement, and improving the overall competitiveness of African businesses. Channels TV business editor Bosun Omofaye is attending this forum and will be bringing you more updates on this in the course of the program. For now, let's hit the markets, and we'll begin here in Africa, where the markets are largely in the red at intraday. The all-share index at the Nigerian Stock Exchange was 0.43% lower. The South African index had lost almost 2%, while the EGX 30 was 0.6% lower. Well, the only market in the green at intraday was the Kenya SE with a 0.47% increase. And in the Middle East, major Gulf stock markets were marginally higher in quiet early trade, while Abu Dhabi's Alder Properties climbed after its annual general meeting discussed expansion plans. The Abu Dhabi Stock Index gained 0.5% as Alder, the most heavily traded stock, added 0.8%. Dubai edged up 1.24% as GFH Financial, the most active stock, climbed 1.1%. Qatar climbed 0.76% on the back of Bauer Real Estate, which added 1.3%. The Saudi Arabian index was, however, down 1.5%, or 1.45%, with retailer United Electronics jumping 6.4%. Staying with the markets, but this time in Europe, where the figures are marginally higher as investors eyed rising oil prices, new data from the UK, and intensifying talks between Greece and its Eurozone creditors. Orich Bartz, the WTV Channels TV financial correspondent at the Frankfurt Stock Exchange, joins me now to talk more about the latest developments at the European markets. Orich, talks have intensified between Greece and its Eurozone creditors, and they've remained at odds over the reforms required before new loans can be approved to Athens. Is this a concern for the markets?
It is a concern for the market. Greece is in focus always again whenever the talks come up and they don't have a result as they have now, and further talks are needed and it's up in the air. But I think people are quite certain that as in time and time before, there will be concessions made from the point of the European lenders so that Greece does not default. It's not in anybody's interest in Europe at the moment for Greece to default. It would be a danger to the euro. What would the reactions be? Many think, we've gotten used to that question. It can be weathered, that storm. But a lot of people are nervous because that sort of case has not been tested yet. And there's also the political side. If you look at the refugee situation in the Mediterranean, which remains to be serious, one cannot have a Greece which is no longer part of the European Union and perhaps not cooperating on that front.
Now, in France, several presidential candidates participated in the first televised debate. How is the market eyeing this election in France?
The market is reacting in almost a jubilant way. You can't really see it on the equities market here. The DAX is not doing great stuff, but the euro surged on the result of that debate because Emmanuel Macron is seen as the victor. He's the centrist candidate, and he emerged from practically nothing to becoming the lead candidate, and he made a good presentation of himself. And it looks as though he might beat Marine Le Pen of the far-right Front National when election times comes, and perhaps not in the first round, but in the second round. That's at least the point of view in the markets right now. And that's a good result because Marine Le Pen, everyone knows, she's promised this. If she becomes the French president, she would have a referendum and try to lead France, A, out of the European Union, and B, out of the euro. And that would be the end of a lot of dreams, the end of a lot of peaceful cooperation here in Europe. And everybody here in the financial market fears a Marine Le Pen as French president.
All right, let's talk about the BMW annual press conference which held today. Well, we saw reports of record results for BMW for 2016 and, of course, looking for more in 2017. Can you talk us through this?
Yes, BMW had a great year 2016, as much turnover, as much sales, as much profit as never before, and it was the 7th year in a row. And Harald Krüger, the CEO, just a few hours ago when the press conference started, said that he is looking for new records this year, and he is basing this on as many new models in a model year as there has never been before in BMW history. The share is going up on this very confident view of 2017. BMW is up around 2% and is among the leaders in the DAX today. I also talked to an analyst, though, who has watched BMW and other German car firms for a long time, and he's more skeptical. He says that Mercedes has passed BMW